Hey guys, it's Adam with Unleashed Wargaming again. Uh, I was fortunate enough to pick up a second game. I'll get right into it. Here's a look at the board. I'm bringing the same Bretonnian list that I brought last time when I played the dwarves a couple videos back. I'll go over it again briefly, but it's the same thing. The only thing I changed was since I was playing dwarves last time, I didn't have any dispel scrolls. This time I did bring a silver mirror and I brought a dispel scroll as well, so I have a little more anti-magic now. Um, Look at the board. The thing on the left, the ruins. This time they are acting as a acropolis of heroes. Makes units stubborn when they're in it, and we totally forgot about that. The crater a little north of that is a Kimrian swamp. It never has any effect in the game. The forest up there is a mysterious forest. It never has any effect in the game. Over on the right is a house. It's just a regular building that never gets used. Above that, the little tower, I'm not even sure what it was because oh no, it was a sinister statue. Never did anything in the game. And the thing in the middle is just a fence, which, other than making some things confusing, didn't do anything in the game. So just ignore the terrain. Here's a look at my side. I've got a trebuchet. That's 9 Knights of the Realm, first on the right. 9 Knights of the Realm, no characters, but they do have the Twilight Banner so they can move through terrain one turn like it's open ground. In the middle is my Knights Errant. I was missing a horse, and he needed to borrow a horse, so I gave him one of mine. So those two, the stone and the stone thrower thing back there in the back, the counterweight, are representing 2 more knights. In that unit is my BSB. He's got the Morningstar Fracas or Fracas or whatever you want to call it. It sounds like I'm cursing when I try and say it, so you make it up. Anyway, it's one that destroys magic weapons. Then the white unit there are my Grail Knights. I've got my General with the Tress of Isolde, the Virtue of Knightly Temper, the Luck Stone that lets him reroll armor saves, and that might be all he's got. Um, let's see. And then behind him is my Damsel. She is the one with the silver mirror. Okay, next picture. On the right, you see my 38 men at arms. 39 men at arms, sorry. Full command and a level 2 with Beast in there. My level 4, I took Heavens again, just because it's different. He wanted to use the Lore of Life. I let him use my card, so I took Heavens, and that's that. Got a second trebuchet down there by the Acropolis. And right up there by that crater, my Peg Knights have already vanguarded. Look at his board. He gave me his list. I don't have it out here. I'm not sure I need it, but on the far left is a cannon, aka Peg Knight targets. On the other side of the forest are 4 demogryphs with a chance. I think he's got full command. In the back, he's got, I think, 5 Reichsguard, and he's got his BSB in that unit. He's got 2 captains on Pegasus. One of them is carrying the Charm Shield, the other one's carrying the Enchanted Shield. Next to them, he has his General on a Griffin. His General is carrying the Obsidian Blade, has a 2-up armor save, and the Dawn Stone that lets him re-roll that 2-up armor save. Next to that, he has 10 Inner Circle Knights, full command, and there's a Warrior Priest in that unit. And I think they have the Banner of Swiftness, so it negates the barding thing, so they're movement 8 still. Back there in the back, that's 2 5-man units of Knights of the White Wolf, and the back one has his level 4 wizard in it. So a lot of characters in this army. He's got a level 4, he's got 2 captains, a general, a BSB, and a warrior priest. So got a lot of characters. And then of course down there in the middle he's got 2 units of pistoliers. Alright, of course, the Bretonnians take a minute to pray, and the dirty, dirty Empire come running in and start shooting in their face while they're trying to pray. Very, very tacky, so that's just what you get when you face these commoners like this. But anyway, he gets out of my charge arc with both of them and gets ready to take shots at me. Over here, he flies both Pegasus and the Griffin up here and gets out of my charge arc with all of them. His demogryphs move up some, like you see there, and I don't remember if the Rights Guard moved or not. I think they did, just not enough. Not much. They're just keeping in there with their BSB. Over here, the 10 Inner Circle Knights moved up some, and both units of the Knights of the White Wolf moved up a little. That's a look at the board after his movement phase. This is a cannon shot. He fired, it went in and hit one of the men-at-arms, and I was going to love it. I have my level 2 in there, and she's holding the prayer icon, or anyway, the one that gives them the lady's blessing. And I would have loved it if I had made it with him and stopped the cannonball right there, but it killed him and hit 2 Grail Knights, killed both of them, and the third one stopped it. So it did its work. The cannon came close to paying for itself right there. Maybe not. Anyway, over here, I don't remember what killed. I think it was his Pistoliers. Yeah, he shot and killed one of my Knights of the Realm with Pistoliers. Bretonnian turn 1, my Peg Knights charged the cannon. I turned to face like this. You can see my Grail Knights turned just a little bit to open up my charge arc some. My Knights Errant angled just a little bit in the middle. And then my Knights of the Realm, they turned, leaving their charge arc open both ways. I have had people charge my trebuchets and just stop, especially fast cav. They go flying in there, they do a wound or two, and then I make my panic tests, my break tests, and that's what I was hoping would happen here. I was hoping he'd go in there and get stuck, and then my Knights of the Realm could charge in, mop up, and then reform to face the combat again. That's a trebuchet shot, landed on the Griffin. Actually, they both did. It was just the splash, though. They both went 2 inches. So the splash got him, one of them wounded, and so he's got 1 wound on him. Hand-to-hand combat, my Peg Knights killed the cannon and overran 8 inches, and barely. My goal was to go off the board. I debated on whether to hold here, turn and face the Griffin, and count on my good armor and my ward saves, but I decided I'd just overrun and go off the board, and I didn't roll far enough, so I went 8 inches, stopped right here facing the wrong way, and we laid down the template and looked, and he missed me. I was about a 1/4 inch out of his charge arc. So good job for the Peg Knights. Now I don't even have to spend the turn coming back on. It was a big sigh of relief on my part. Here he declared 2 charges in his turn. One of the captains on the Pegasus charged into the flank of my men-at-arms. The other one charged into the trebuchet. On the other side, the Pistoliers, 1 unit charged the trebuchet over here. Oh, that's a look at the 2 Pegasus riders getting into the trebuchets and the men-at-arms. And over here, he took his other unit of Pistoliers and ran them forward and got in the face of my Knights Errant, so that I can't charge his advancing Knights. There's an overlook of the board after Empire movement turn 2. He tried to cast a spell. I don't remember which one he tried to cast, but either way, when he cast it, I used the Silver Mirror and put a wound on his level 4. And went straight into hand-to-hand combat. He killed this trebuchet. I was able to do 1 wound with the crew, but then he killed him and overran off the board. Over here, funny enough, he did 2 wounds. I did 1 to him, I think. I had the ranks, the banner. I won combat. And there's a look I was able to... Actually, you know what? We went back and looked, and it was a draw. It was a tied combat. but I passed my leadership check anyway, and I did a reform to face him like this. So that's it. That's a look at the board after Empire turn 2. So moving on to Bretonnian turn 2. I started off here, I charged his pistoliers, and since I can't close the door, he had to come to me. He was hoping to make me turn, that's why I angled him, but I couldn't close the door, so he had to. Then my Ground Knights declared a charge into the 4 Demogryphs, and we made it. That was good. I was able to hit like this. There's no way I could have moved over and gotten 3 in there, so it ended like this, where I'm hitting 2 of them. And if I overrun, I'm able to go in and hit and just barely clip that unit of knights back there, the Reichsguard. My Peg Knights and the remaining moves flew over like this, just out of his charge arc, getting ready to cause trouble. They actually have an array of targets they can go into, so they're just back there to cause some trouble. In Magic, I was able to get the Comet of Cassandora. Actually, he let it go, and I put it here so that when he moves up, if he tries to come to me, he can't move far enough to get past it, so hopefully it'll come down while he's passing by. Over here, I was able to do, this is where I did the wound. I got my ranks, my banner, and all that good stuff, and I broke his captain and overran into the other captain. So, wasn't able to run him down, though. That kind of stinks, but anyway, I'm into the other captain. This is a look at the combat, after combat. He did a few wounds to my Ground Knights. I did 5 wounds to his Demogryphs. Had a charge, had a banner, had a rank. He was down to a 5 that he needed to stay because his general's close by, and he made it. So that's terrible. I needed them to break and run so I could get out of there, because now my Ground Knights are in a bad spot. Now they can hold up. That's a tough unit, but they're in a tight spot now. This is a look at the Knights Errant. I charged those guys. They came to me, and I killed every one of them. The pistoliers, that is. And I did not overrun. I should have. I meant to. And by the time I remembered, we were already into his movement phase. I was hoping, I just totally forgot, drew a blank. I was going to overrun with him so that his inner circle knights couldn't get a flank on my Ground Knights. They would have had to come into these. But I totally forgot and decided to hold instead. So that's exactly what happens. Empire turn 3 declares a charge with his inner circle knights into my Grail Knights, and declares a charge with his Griffin into my Grail Knights. That's 2 flank charges that are basically automatic. So it looks like this, and that's pretty ugly. Over here, his Reichsguard turn around to face my Peg Knights, and both of his White Wolf units move up, just preparing to go in wherever they're needed. Issue a challenge with my general, with his general, and so we get into a little duel here. And take a look at this. I was able to, my Grail Knights were able to do another 2 or 3 wounds to the Demogryphs, killed one off, put a wound on another. My general got in there and was able to do a couple wounds to the Griffin. He took 1 wound back, and then he killed 5 Grail Knights and killed the unit, so he gets points for the entire unit. Leaves my general standing there, and my damsel, she has the crown of command, so she's stubborn and she holds, and my general holds. So that whole unit was wiped out. I have 2 individual characters standing there. The damsel actually had to move forward into the Demogryphs because when he killed the front 2, she had to fill in the spot. So not looking good over here, but at least we held. Down here at the bottom, funny enough, this captain on the Pegasus rallied. I broke the other one from combat. He fled, got away, and I overran into this one again. So my men-at-arms are just spending the game fighting two captains on Pegasus Riders. On Pegasus. There's an overview of the board after Empire turn 3. Alright. Oh, I took this picture because we realized after he killed all the things, the two characters were pretty much independent, and he was able to turn his inner circle knights around. They were out of combat effectively, so they were able to turn, make a reform, and face the Bretonnians coming at them. Okay, Bretonnian turn 3. I declare 2 charges. My Knights Errant into the Inner Circle Knights, and the Knights of the Realm into the Inner Circle Knights. The Peg Knights, as you can see up above, charge the Demogryphs in the rear. I just passed those Reichsguard up, and wanted to get it here and help out my general and that damsel. Yeah, there's a look at the Peg Knights coming into the rear. And there's a look at this combat now with both of my Knight Lances going into the Inner Circle Knights, Peg Knights into the rear. And this is starting to get to be a really ugly combat. Over here, my general turns and wails on the Griffin and kills it. Did 3 more wounds, kills it, and then is able to take his Virtue of Knightly Temper and go against his general, but I did nothing. His general stopped all of it. He swings back and does nothing to me, so well, I thought he did 1 more wound to me. Either way, my general's still alive, and his general did not break and run, so that's how that goes. Over here, I killed the entire back rank, did a wound to his warrior priest, just killed a bunch of them, and then when he broke and ran, I was able to run him down, caught him as he turned, overran with my Knights Errant into the Demogryphs, and that is a cascading combat, so they'll get to fight again. I haven't done the Peg Knights yet. Sadly enough, he was able to kill Haley, my level 4 prophetess. He put both Demogryphs onto her and did exactly 3 wounds. Her ward save jumped in and stopped about 4. I was able, with a 5 up, and I was able to stop several, but he got 3 through and killed her. So there's over 300 points just in her. But as you can see, yeah, he did do a second wound to my general. But as you can see here, the Knights Errant and the Peg Knights in the rear were just too much, and we killed the last 2 Demogryphs. And down here at the bottom, to finish things up, my Knights, they're not Knights, my peasants, men-at-arms were able to kill 1, overrun, and chase the other one off the board. So both of the captains on Pegasus are gone. And that's where we called it. There's a look at the board afterwards. He still has, I think he's already picked him up. He still had his Reichsguard there with the BSB, and he still had 2 units of the Knights of the White Wolf. But it was pretty clear that it was going downhill quick because I still had a lot of stuff left. We figured it out. This was a good game. Neither one of us felt confident that we were winning at any point in the game. When his Inner Circle Knights got run down, it was starting to swing in my favor. Then the Demogryphs died, and it was really looking good for me. And when the 2 Peg Riders, when they got killed down there at the bottom with the captains and stuff, once that happened, then he said he knew it was over at that point. He's like, there's nothing left to get around and do anything. We added it up, and just killing my Grail Knights and killing the damsel, that really, and then the 2 trebuchets, I think he took about 900 points from me, maybe 950, something like that. And when we added up his, everything that we'd, figured up, the cannon and the knights and all of it anyway, I think I was somewhere around 13 to 1400, somewhere in there. So it was a victory for the Bretonnians, but it was a lot closer than like the dwarf game. That the dwarf game before, spoiler alert, It was fun. We had a good time. But with those failed leadership checks and all that, it wasn't just a great game where you're never sure what's going to happen. It was over at the end of turn two. But this one was a fun game. It was back and forth. He easily could have won it if a couple of things had just dice rolls and just different things like that. But it was a good game. It was a lot of fun. Uh, Let us know what you think about it. Comment below, subscribe if you haven't done so already. And I hope you enjoyed it. I should have more coming up. He's going to be sending me pictures of his dwarves. I have a video up on his dwarves because they're coming along nicely, getting painted real good. And just let me know what you think. Hope you enjoyed it. And also, we do a painting service and a assembly. We also do some conversion work. Usually, it's an idea that comes to me as I'm going. I don't often take requests for conversions and make it work. It's usually an idea I have that just pops into my head and I find a way to do it. But anything you want like that, projects, I can do entire armies, I can do single models, anything you want like that, email me at unleashedwargaming@gmail.com and I will get back to you with a quote. And I'm almost always able to make things work out. If you can't afford what I tell you, we work things out, make plans, and figure out a way to make it happen. So send me an email. Let me know what you're thinking, what you have, and hopefully I'll have some more bat reps up pretty soon. Either way, I'll have some videos. I've got some painted things I'm going to be videoing and taking pictures of. So I'll have more coming up soon in the future. So shoot me an email and be sure to subscribe. Thank you very much.